Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to get ready for our featured speaker this evening. She has served Trinidad and Tobago as a counselor. She has served as a member of parliament. She has served in many portfolios in various cabinets. She has served as a diplomat. And now she serves not just as a member of parliament for the great constituency of Arima. She serves as our opposition leader, our first ever woman political leader of the People's National Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and make some noise for the Honorable Pennelope Althea Beckles Robinson. Get on your feet! Wave those flags! You all can do better than that for the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Whoa, wave your flags. Come on, let's see them. Good night, everyone. Friends, citizens, patriots, please lend me your ear. I come here not to bury our country and disregard our identity like some are trying to do, but I have come to ensure that Mother Trinidad and Tobago takes her rightful place of prominence and that she's given her deserving space to be celebrated. On this eve of the 63rd anniversary of our country's independence, it has yet again fallen to the People's National Movement to act in the best interest of all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and to set us on the course of defining who we are as Trinbagonian collective. Welcome to the love of liberty, my fellow countrymen and those of the wider diaspora. Welcome, one and all, young and old, and in between, tall, short, yellow, brown, red, black, white, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Orisha, Hare Krishna, Pentecost, Baptist, Scientologists, Ethiopian Orthodox, atheists, PNM, UNC, NJAC, DLP, COP, TPP, NGOs, CBOs, professionals, tradesmen, trade unionists, welcome one and all. Welcome to those listening to us online. You and me, we are all our sweet TNT. We, after all, are the Rainbow Nation gathered here for the love of liberty. Let me now, of course, acknowledge the first citizen of the city of Port of Spain, His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Chinua Allen. Yes, come, let's give it up for our mayor. The chairman of the People's National Movement, the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez. Our Lady Vice Chairman, Dr. the Honorable Nyan Gatsby Dolly. my deputy political leaders, Sanjeev Budu, the Honorable Mr. Con Imber, and Jennifer Batiste Primus. Let me acknowledge, of course, our Secretary, Senator, the Honorable Foster Cummings, mayors, aldermen, all members of parliament, all local government councillors, members of the clergy, the protective services, P&M family, patriots, fellow countrymen, both at home and abroad, ladies and gentlemen, special good night to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, we gather not just in a place securely etched in our nation's history, but we gather in a memory. We gather in the spirit of that warm night exactly 63 years ago when the Princess Royal joined us as the world watched us. Just a few meters to my right, the lawn of the Red House, the then seat of the colonial rule of half a century, a miracle of new life occurred. As the clock struck midnight, the Union Jack was lowered, and for the first time in history, a flag of red, white, and black rose gracefully against the Caribbean sky. The independent nation of Trinidad and Tobago was birthed. Our very own nation, our own flag, our own coat of arms, our own national birds, the scarlet ibis and the cocorico, the chiconia, now the double chiconia, our national flower, our own watchwords, born in that moment, born from a love of liberty, born in the cleansing and purifying fires of our hope and our prayer. Countrymen, countrywomen, patriots all, what was born that night was not merely a symbol. It was a thunderous declaration of our national self. That first solemn, triumphant note of our national anthem, echoing lustily across over Woodford Square and reverberating throughout every street, village, and town of Trinidad and Tobago, it was a song heard by a people whose ancestors, whether the indigenous first peoples of this land, or whether from India, Africa, China, Europe, or the Middle East, had watered this soil with their blood, with their sweat, and with their tears. It was a song of freedom, thankfully, not earned by floods of blood, but earned by the unwavering resolve of the leaders like Butler, Cipriani, Capildeo, and the doctor, our founding father, the father of the nation, Dr. Eric Eustace Williams. I remember vividly as a girl at the assembly at St. Raphael's School in San Fernando, my hand on my heart, my voice in a chorus of young Trinbagonians. I didn't even know all the words, but yet we watched the older girls in the front row, mouths shaping lines, and we were still learning. And of course, we tried to catch up. We felt the hush and gave the respect before the first note. It was a joy to see the way the teachers straightened their shoulders, the way the flag seemed taller and fluttered, prouder while we sang the anthem. Back then, our country and our anthem were just about 5 years old, and we were just 5 years old. We may not have grasped every word of "here every creed and race find an equal place," but we understood its importance. We were happy to be part of it. It is the same pride, my fellow countrymen and countrywomen, that is planted in every child who sings our national anthem and who recites our pledge. It is the same pride that swells when our athletes, our artists, our academics, and our pageant queens stand on the world stage and hear those soulful notes rolling for them. This is the flag that was elevated when Hazley Crawford and Keyshawn Walcott won gold at the Olympics. This is the flag that was hoisted as our national anthem played and our national instrument filled the stadium in the 2022 Commonwealth Games as Jareem the Dream Richards received his gold medal. This is the national flag that identified my namesake, Janelle Penny Commijon, Giselle Laronde, and Wendy Fitzwilliams when they brought the titles of Miss Universe and Miss World home to Trinidad and Tobago. This is the flag when Shannon Hutchinson, Ariane Sinanan, and Sadia Nabila Ali planted as they conquered various bases of Mount Everest. In those exact moments, the achievement becomes our achievement, our national victory. That moment becomes Trinidad and Tobago. This national pride is woven into every fabric of our flag. The red, our vitality; the white, of our equality; the black, our strength and unity. This is the flag that flies at the United Nations, raised as a physical manifestation of our sovereignty and protected by many ambassadors, including me in the past. Take note of that word, sovereignty. I will get back to it soon. How beautiful our flag looks, flying as our beacon, our identity shining among the other nations, proving that national pride transcends individuality and party and continues our legacy on the world stage. This is the flag that Google itself honors on our Independence Day by changing its logo on its homepage for the world to see. And this is the flag that is honored in the most organic, beautiful ways by our peoples, like the Caesar's Army, in the paint dance, where at 6 a.m., in the midst of joy and celebration, everything stops. A silence falls, and thousands of voices rise as one to sing, to reaffirm that love for country in the deepest rhythm of all. This is what we celebrate. But my friends, to truly celebrate independence, we must first remember what it replaced. Before that night in 1962, we faced our Mount Everest as colonial islanders. The oaths sworn were not to this nation, but to a crown. The transcripts of our history remind us of the words defined of our subjugation of our leaders. One said this: I do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and succession. Pre-August 31st, 1962, our sovereignty was but an idea, not a reality. This is why the journey to London in May 1962 was so critical. This was not a request for a gift. It was the negotiation to build our own house. The Secretary of State, Mr. Reginald Maudling, said the heavy responsibility was to devise a constitution under which the peoples of a former dependency can emerge and govern themselves as a single nation. Our founding fathers understood this profound responsibility. Dr. Williams declared that our Constitution had to be a bulwark for democracy, a shield against military juntas or civil conspiracies, with an uncompromising emphasis on the protection of basic human rights. It was, in his words, to give the government sufficient powers to ensure the continued improvement of the well-being of the people. He dreamed of a nation that, though small, like a mustard seed, would grow so great that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. It is crucially important to note that this was not a partisan vision. Dr. Capildale stood and demanded guarantees. We want a judiciary which is independent, he said. We want provisions which really guarantee effectively the rights and freedoms. We want provision made to ensure free and fair elections. They, those men, those patriots, They built this house for us. They gave us the tools, our watchwords, discipline, production, and tolerance, our pledge to be faithful to our God, to our country, to honor the law and respect the rights of fellow citizens. We must reclaim the promise and protect our sovereignty. Our sovereignty, hard won, is not just a status we hold. It is a tool we use. We boast our sovereignty every time we sit at a table of CARICOM, championing regional integration and speaking with one powerful Caribbean voice on issues from climate change to trade. We exercise our sovereignty through CARICOM single market and economy, which gives our citizens the right to live, to work, and establish business across region, making our people more resilient and our economies more dynamic. We assert our sovereignty on the world's most critical stage by a signatory to the Paris Agreement, standing with the international community to combat climate change, an existential threat to our very islands, and leading the change in advocating for those most vulnerable. From the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea to protect our maritime borders, to international trade agreements that open markets for our goods, we have consistently used our sovereign power to build stronger, more secure, and more prosperous Trinidad and Tobago. This is the mustard seed grown into a tree, offering shelter and strength, not just to us, but to our regional family and principal partners worldwide. This is why, fellow citizens, those here and abroad, today is also a day for sober reflection. For we stand at challenging crossroads, and we must ask ourselves, are we keeping faith with that promise? The state of emergency was the government's response to a crisis of crime. But when it is used to cancel our national celebration, while other large gatherings are deemed secure, it feels like a strategy and more, it feels less like a strategy and more like a smokescreen. This contradiction reveals a profound and troubling truth. This government never conceived a real plan for governance, nor a serious strategy to address the root causes of the violence that plagues our society. We are left not one but two crises, a security crisis and a leadership crisis. But I say to you today, fear not. Where they have failed, we are ready to lead. Where they have no plan, we are ready to fix things. Here we are commemorating this solemn occasion, honoring our sovereignty in this season of strain. The state of emergency remains in effect. The government has willfully chosen to replace the traditional Independence Parade and fireworks with a national day of prayer and reflection. I do not doubt the sincerity of prayer. As a matter of fact, I affirm it. It is part of our founding story, a humble acknowledgement that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. But I also believe that national rituals belong to the nation. Their cancellation is a symbol of a breakdown in the compact. It is an irony that cuts deep, that a government can hold consultations on stand-your-ground legislation, yet not consult on how we can stand together to preserve one of our greatest unifying traditions. And what of the continued improvement of the well-being of the people that our Constitution meant to empower? How do we reconcile that original and enduring vision with the closure of our very programs that put food on the tables and pride in our communities? CPEP, URP, forestry program. These were not just employment schemes. They were necessary tools for a founding purpose to improve well-being and to allow us to hold our heads high. What is further distressing is today I got the news that the Civilian Conservation Corps has now joined CPEP, URP, and Reforestation Program, as they have now, from the information I received, also closed down that program. Our Independence Day, our nation should be clean. Our parks should be trimmed. Our streets should be gleaming. It is a sign of self-respect. The sudden and unexplained closure of these programs has not just left thousands jobless, it has stained our pride. A dirty nation on its birthday is a deafening cry of despair. The soul of Trinidad and Tobago is not being destroyed by outsiders, it is being chipped away from within. We must demand better from this government. We must reclaim the promise and protect our sovereignty. We must reclaim the meaning of our watchwords, discipline in our conduct and in holding our leaders accountable, production in our work, in our art, and in our economy, tolerance in our hearts for every creed and race, for every religion and every political affiliation, and tolerance and respect for each other. We must commit to our pledge. It is a contract we have with each other to be faithful, to honor our institution, to uphold our country's law. We must be the ones who fly the flag higher, to hold this government to account and demand it reinstate the programs that keep our nation clean, our children in school, and our people working. To mentor our youth, we must be the pride we want to see. Our national identity is intricately woven tapestry with the splendid threads of religion, culture, our food, our dance, our music. Our culture is an integral part of our national identity and of who we as the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We all celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Diwali, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr, Baptist Liberation, Emancipation Day. We are currently in the period of Ganesh Utsav with our Hindu brothers and sisters. The Muslim community are observing the 12 days of Maulid. Last Saturday, we celebrated the National Oshun Festival with our brothers and sisters of the Yoruba community, as well as the Feast of Santa Rosa de Lima with the Roman Catholic and the first people in Arima. In October, we celebrate Double Ten with those of the Chinese heritage. Last month, we enjoyed the Tobago Heritage Festival. A few weeks ago, we participated in African emancipation. Every year, thousands of our diaspora and tourists alike join our local community as we put on the greatest show on earth, Carnival. We honor and celebrate our artistry and craftsmanship through masquerade with color and splendor, backed by our musical steel pan, soca, kaiso, and calypso. Our music has always been the soundtrack of our nation's soul. By calypso, our stories are told. Our music tells our story of love and resilience better than any speech could ever. Our model nation, Mighty Sparrow, 1962. The whole population of our little nation is not a lot, but oh, what a mixture of race and culture. That's what we got. Tell the world there's a model nation. That was the dream, and the dream is still alive. Mikal Tija, 2025. Can you feel the love on a stranger's face? When my people's dancing through time and space is an energy when we come down day. Look around, all are we jumping up as family. Tell the bad vibes, not today. Love is only energy. Orlando Octave 2018, Trinidad, I love you. Can't let you go, can't let you go, can't let you go. And your sister just as sweet, Tobago, I really love you. Trinity the Bone, Corita Banga, Ganges Meet the Nile, Jahaji Bai, these are songs of our people. I can only imagine how strong you feel when you sing these words. Freetown Collective, take me home. I go cross any ocean to find it. Won't let any mountain get in the way. We come across the waters, but through the fire. I know that my heart go show me the way. Everywhere you turn, you see the people smiling. We don't see no creed and race. Don't want nobody tell we about leaving. We fight for we thing, and this is we place. That is our country. That is our fight. Take me home, take me home. Take me to the place where my heart don't feel my pain. That place is here. That place is home. That place is Trinidad and Tobago. That is the vow we make to this nation. A love so deep, it calls us back always, all around this fire and flames. Oh, this world is crazy here. Protect the island, Father, we pray, until the very end of the days. My brothers and sisters, fellow countrymen, when we leave here today, we face a choice. Do we cheer for the country we know we can be, or do we weep for the country we feel we are losing? The answer laid out by our first Prime Minister is clear. Let us make a living reality of our new motto. Together we aspire, together we achieve. Let us not just aspire, let us achieve. Let us rebuild the house. Let us keep the promise. Let us leave here today with a resolution in our hearts, a resolution to be faithful to the dream of independence, to be proud citizens of our nation that will always live on. Look around. This little nation is not a lot in number, but oh, what a mixture of races, what a mixture of culture. That's what we have got. Still, no major indifference of race, color, religion, or finance. It is a miracle that we, many different people, can do so well. Spread the word anywhere you go. Tell the world there is a model nation at last, which means Trinidad and Tobago will always live on. Colonialism gone. Our nation is born. Everywhere you turn, you see people smiling. We do so no creed and race. We don't want nobody tell about leaving. We fight for we thing, and this is we place. Now, let us show the world, the naysayers, dare I say, let us show this government that we will not reject our legacy. We will not allow you to rewrite our history. We will fight for our national identity. You see, to tell the story of Trinidad and Tobago is to tell the story of the people's national movement. A party of and a party for the people. The People's National Movement sought independence. The PNM gained that independence. The People's National Movement developed our infrastructure, our road network, strengthened our utilities. The People's National Movement bolstered our gas and energy industries, ensured free quality healthcare was available to all citizens, introduced CDAP. The policies and actions led to lower maternal mortality rates. The PNM purposefully secured our country's future by providing free education from nursery to tertiary and everything in between. The PNM created countless academic and vocational programs for our young people and took deliberate care to preserve our built heritage and legacy buildings and sites. They say when the UNC wins, everybody wins. But look around you. When they won, thousands of workers were fired. When they won, the programs that keep our communities clean and our people employed were shut down. When they won, our national parade was canceled. Tell me, my friends, did everybody win? Or did a select few win at the expense of the many? My Trinbagonian patriots, nationals throughout the diaspora, it falls to me to do something the Prime Minister can never do, to do my duty to you and to this nation, pledging to you that I will never engage or encourage the abuse and treacherous trampling of our Constitution and the spirit of our Parliament, as was done in our Golden Jubilee. In 2012, during what should have been a triumphant year, marking our 50th anniversary of independence, our nation instead witnessed one of the darkest political betrayals, the sinister orchestration of Section 34. This was no ordinary legislative misstep. It was a premeditated, cold, and calculated abuse of the Constitution and the Parliament by the UNC government, an act of brazen, so laced with treachery that it casts a long, unshakable shadow over our Golden Jubilee. How can a party only recently entrusted with power and the sacred duty to uphold the law turn so viciously on the very oath it took? Section 34 was not an error, it was a deliberate, clandestine move to pervert the course of justice. This calculated, callous move to abuse the Constitution and the legislative purpose had one objective: to let their financiers, their friends, and be accused of the massive fraud walk free without a trial. Between 1962 and 2015, the UNC held power for 2 terms, and yet within that limited tenure, they engineered one of the greatest constitutional disgraces in modern history, Section 34. The UNC and the Prime Minister never forgot the public outrage. You, my wonderful countrymen, saw this treason for what it was. And let me say, contrast this to the PNM. It is when the PNM wins, the nation wins. In 1962, the land had just 880,000 people. Today, we are 1.5 million people. Since 1961, the PNM gave this nation free secondary education. In 2004, we throw open the doors of the university with GATE. In the health, as it relates to the healthcare, the PNM declared that care must never, ever depend on wealth. Free clinics, public hospitals, CDAP drugs, and for elders, for those who build this country with their hands and their sweat. In 1972, we created the National Insurance System. Since the first pension was paid in 1975, hundreds of thousands of retirees have collected their well-owned pensions and NIS checks. From paved roads you drive on, to the electricity in your homes, to the water in your taps, the PNM's nation building touched every household. So I ask you, my fellow patriots, who truly wins for all? Who builds a house where every single citizen has a room? The truth is undeniable. When the PNM wins, the whole country wins. When the PNM wins, everybody wins. I therefore repeat, you simply cannot tell the story of this country's growth and this country's development without speaking of the tremendous contribution made by the People's National Movement through its policies over the years. The UNC and the detractors can never take that away from us. The PNM is great. We are the proud people of Trinidad and Tobago. We are the resilient mother Trinidad and Tobago, and we will protect with all our might. Challenge me again. They told me, hold your own parade, but they forget the PNM is a rally for all. When within the next 5 years or before, when you elect me as your prime minister, I will work to build who we are as a people. And you can look forward to certain very interesting projects. A sovereignty renewal agenda, a national identity commission, which establishes a bipartisan body to safeguard national traditions, cultural heritage, and state symbols like the independence celebrations, ensuring they can never again be erased or politicized. Constitutional guarantee of our national celebrations, enshrine Independence and Republic Day into law so no government can suspend them without parliamentary approval. For any year in which emergency powers prevail, I propose a people's civic salute, a template that preserves dignity and safety, and one that mirrors the very activities of August 1962. We can simply do micro parades, use the cadets, the Girl Scouts, televised wreath laying, that's very simple, all planned well in advance. You can also look for TNT providing continued global leadership. We can work towards a Caribbean Sovereignty Alliance. We will continue to work with CARICOM in defending small states against global economic and political pressure. We will champion climate justice leadership and position Trinidad and Tobago as a global voice. Our independence cannot be cancelled, and our sovereignty will never be surrendered. I see Trinidad and Tobago where no government can ever silence our national pride, where our young people are guaranteed opportunity, where our economy is fueled by innovation, clean energy, vibes, and creativity, and where every citizen holds the power to hold leaders accountable. This is the future we must claim together, a stronger, prouder, and unstoppable Trinidad and Tobago. So as I ask you tonight, stand with me. Stand with the People's National Movement, and let us reimagine our nation, boldly, fearlessly, and with unshakable hope. Let us build a civilization of love. Let us truly be a rainbow nation. Let interracial solidarity and national unity be the cords that bind us together. When the Soca Warriors qualified for the World Cup in 2006, we were our best selves. This coming Friday, the 5th of September, our boys play Curaçao at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. And I ask you to join me in once again in being the best of Trinidad and Tobago. Let us support our boys and our country proudly wearing red, white, and black. Tonight, as they did last night and a couple nights ago, TKR and our TKR will again play in the CPL. I was there last night, and it was nothing short of beauty for us, seeing our red, white, and black. Let us congratulate Puran and his entire team, and let us rally around these unifying teams. This is who we are and what we are called to do. Remember, we are Trinidad and Tobago. Let no one take that away. As I close, I want to ask you to join with me as I say this very special and important prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you on this Independence Day with grateful hearts for this blessed land. We ask you for guidance for our leaders. Grant them wisdom, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to the common good. We ask for your protection over our communities. Shield them from violence and despair. And we ask for your strength for every citizen. Give us the courage to build, the patience to tolerate, and the discipline to produce. Bless and keep Trinidad and Tobago now and always. Happy 63rd birthday to our beloved Twin Island, Trinidad and Tobago. Happy Independence, Trinidad and Tobago. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our nation. I love you. I want the best for you. I'm here with you. I am here for you, Trinidad and Tobago. Hand in hand, let us preserve our legacy. Together, we can and we must honor who we are. And tonight, we are called upon to save our country, and to save our country, we must. Great is the PNM. Long live liberty. And I want to take the opportunity now, before I leave, to ask us to stand and sing the national anthem. Hans, where are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear every voice, loud and proud, singing the national anthem of our Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right.
We want you, come to the front, come closer to the
Yes, come a little
stage.
closer. And no music, we singing it. So they'll know that we have some powerful voices here in the People's National Movement. This is after I've sung the national anthem. Hans is going to come and basically complete the program. So this is our important event, and we are going to make sure. So people, those who can, Hans, I was looking for you to come up here with me. You tell me you could sing too, right? Okay. So 3, 4. Of our liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee, ere every green and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation, ere every green and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Thank you very much.
Ladies and
Long
gentlemen,
live Trinidad and Tobago. Happy independence.